You've been curious about network spinal care, but maybe you're wondering, is this really for me? Today, I'll share 5 signs that you're ready to begin and why your body might be asking for exactly this type of support. Welcome to Healing Beyond the Symptoms, the podcast that helps people discover the root causes of their health struggles and take back control with science, strategy, and self-awareness. I'm Dr. Leah Hahn, a chiropractor and functional wellness doctor who believes that true healing starts beneath the surface. So let's dive in. The first thing that we want you to think about if you're evaluating whether or not you're ready to start network spinal care is that, are you ready? Readiness matters. Healing requires that you be in a state of safety and willingness, not perfection. So I'm not looking for you to find this perfect opening within your schedule. I'm not looking for it to be a time when your kids don't have sports or it's the perfect time at work where maybe you don't have a lot of demands. That's not really real life. What I'm looking for instead is that you are willing to start to put yourself as a priority. Maybe your health and your wellness have been on the back burner for an extended time period. Maybe you're noticing that you haven't given yourself a lot of attention in terms of your sense of well-being. And maybe you realize that it's time for you to start to address some deeper patterning that's been happening within your life. All I need in terms of your willingness to participate in that process is a sense of readiness, that you are willing to devote some time and some energy to getting to your appointments and to being aware of your body and start to be an active participant within the process. Many people will ask, well, how do I know if it's the right time for me? Well, are you ready to really address deeper patterns? Are you ready to devote time for yourself? Again, that's what it takes. So the following 5 signs that I'm going to be talking about are things that I see over and over again in patients who are actually ready to deepen that healing process through network spinal care. So 5 signs that you're ready. 1 is you've tried everything, but nothing lasts. So what I mean by that is you've tried supplements, maybe you've tried therapy, you've tried yoga, you've even tried traditional chiropractic, and those things are helpful to you, but maybe they provide temporary relief. What that means to me is that your nervous system is actually stuck in some patterning that's not allowing those things to work as effectively as possible. If your system's been stuck in sympathetic mode where it's in fight or flight, or it's moved into that dorsal vagal system where it feels numb and disconnected, it may need support to move out of that physiology so that your body can take advantage of the other healing things that you're doing. I take supplements. I drink a lot of water. I love to move my body. I love exercise. But those things work best when I'm more in a balanced and regulated state, when my nervous system is working effectively. If I tried to add those things on when my body's in a high stress state, it's not going to be, my nutrition is not utilized as effectively. My supplements aren't going to be broken down into the nutrients that I really need. The water that I'm drinking isn't really hydrating my body at the level that it could. So I really want to get my body and my stress level really functioning at their optimal state. So then I can add those things in and my body can take advantage of it. So if you've been stuck in this cycle of trying things that aren't really affecting you the way that they should, and you know that maybe chronic stress and overwhelm and unresolved trauma have been a part of your life, then it's really important to take that next step and move towards network spinal care so you can move past that pattern. The next thing that might be a part of that is that deep down, you know that something is missing. We've talked about this in past episodes where you may feel like you're going through the motions. You're not really experiencing life as fully or as richly as you could. You feel numbness. You feel disconnected. You feel like, again, maybe something in your sense of well-being is truly missing. This is the time to really start to explore that deeper nervous system patterning. Remember, patterns can change. Patterns can be reorganized. And when we do that, it's going to accelerate your healing process and help you feel more whole and more balanced. This often accompanies the mindset of wanting to get to the root cause. When you've tried, again, multiple things that have been a part of your health journey and you can't really get anything to truly last, or you can't seem to get past old patterning, you really want to get through those, kind of maybe suspend those superficial experiences and delve into those deeper layers of healing. And that's what Network Spinal is all about. Sign number 2 is that you feel stuck in stress or survival mode. With stuckness, we're going to feel tension building, or you may feel very disconnected from your body. You may feel like that mind-body connection isn't really there. You may notice, again, you repeat the same patterns over and over again, and with each time you repeat that pattern, that tension level is building. You're ready to tackle them. Realize that this might be looking at the physical, the mental, the emotional patterning. They can't really be separated. So, really wanting to get to the root cause, feeling that stuckness and that tension build when you know it's not a part of your journey at this time, but you're ready for it to be, can be a really important step in terms of being ready to start network spinal care. And even when life is fine, and your body feels tense or anxious and disconnected. So again, you're feeling that there's something missing, there's something that's not quite there, that's not being addressed, and you're ready to delve into those deeper layers of healing, you're probably ready for network spinal care. Or you can't seem to shut off the state of constant alertness. I've worked with so many patients that have a history of trauma or a history of growing up in maybe a situation where their body and their mind remained very hypervigilant. They were constantly ready for then the shoe to drop or the next tough situation or stressful situation to happen. And in situations like that, their body has a guarded and rigid armor that they are maintaining. When they start to sense that and you can start to become aware of that sense of hypervigilance, it's important to realize how that's affecting your health and your wellness and your state of well-being. So in order to be able to heal that, we need to put the body into a state of safety. So if you're ready to really address that state of constant alertness and hypervigilance, you're probably ready to start network spinal care. Sign number 3 is that you're tired of Band-Aid solutions. You're actually ready to understand the why behind your struggles, not just managing the struggles. We live in a culture that puts a Band-Aid on most health issues. If you listen to TV at all or to the radio, you're going to hear all kinds of ads for medications and drugs. And it doesn't mean that that isn't necessary at times, but is a person willing to look at maybe why they're experiencing that symptom or why they're actually experiencing that health condition? And maybe they need that medication, but maybe they also need to create a lifestyle in which they can heal consistently, in which their body can move into a parasympathetic state or move into that dorsal ventral state where they're connected and calm and more resilient and adaptable. So I'm looking for clients who are really willing to look at that deeper picture of what's happening within their health and their well-being. Ask the question, why? Why am I dealing with this health struggle? And be willing and open to maybe consider changing their lifestyle and managing their stress and working with their healing capacity in a new way that can create a new result.
And we're going to take a quick break. This episode of Healing Beyond the Symptoms is sponsored by Body and Balance Wellness Center in Golden, Colorado. They know that real healing isn't about chasing symptoms. It's about uncovering the root cause of stress, tension, and imbalance. Their gentle nervous system-based care helps people release stored stress, reconnect to their bodies, and build resilience that lasts. If you've tried everything and still feel like something's missing, they may be the missing link. Learn more and book your consultation at bodyandbalancechiropractic.com. All right, and let's get back to the show.
Sign number 4 is that you're craving reconnection. You're craving reconnection with your own body, with your family, and with yourself. So in Network Spinal, we talk about creating safety within the body, but we also really explore creating that deeper mind body connection. I want you to be more connected with yourself, with your needs, with your boundaries. I want you to actually be able to sense what your body needs and when it needs it so you can make choices that honor that. I want you to feel more connected with your family, with your loved ones, with your friends. I want your nervous system to be regulated and rebalanced and reorganized into a state in which connection feels good. Connection doesn't feel draining. It doesn't feel like one more thing on the to do list, but that you feel a sense of presence, that you're present in the situations that you're in so that you can fully enjoy them, fully enjoy being with people, because that state of connection is such an important thing for nervous system health as well as your sense of well being. And I want you to feel connected with yourself and your emotional state. I want you to be able to process emotions in a safe and healthy way in real time so that you're not moving into that state of numbness. You're not living out of fight or flight on a consistent basis, but you're actually able to experience an emotion, move into a balanced state, experience another emotion, move into a balanced state. So you're constantly processing what needs to be processed. Another sign would be that you don't just want relief, you want to feel present and alive again. Network Spinal is amazing for creating healing within the body. For some of our clients that come in for the first time, that means chronic headaches, chronic tension. It could mean long term sciatic issues. It could mean that they've dealt with a scoliosis for 20 years and they need help with that. They need to have more balance in how their body functions. It could be digestive issues. It could be that their system is not adapting to stress. And so they feel fatigued. They feel like they're not experiencing the emotions that they want to be. They feel maybe more depression or anxiety. So they want to often get to the deeper reason of why that's happening. So they don't just want relief from that, they want to explore why their nervous system is in that state. And they actually want to get to a true healing effect for that. Instead of, again, just putting a band aid on something, they don't just want the relief. They actually want to move into a state where they're truly healing that and creating renewed physiology. Sign number 5 is that you sense that your body is asking for more. That sense that something's off doesn't just go away, it's nagging. It's something that you feel like there's something missing on a daily basis that's not allowing you to truly thrive. Maybe that's the sense of disconnection. Maybe it's a sense of overwhelm, chronic stress, feeling like, again, you're not connected to your body or you're not present in the situations that you're in. Maybe it's feeling brain fog, but it's that nagging feeling, that chronic feeling that something is not quite right. You're probably ready for network spinal care at that time. You might not have words, but your intuition is telling you that it's time to deal with it. So that could mean that you get this sense that there's something out there that could make a greater impact for you, your health, and your well being. I strongly encourage you to consider network spinal care and making that kind of an impact in your nervous system, reorganizing the patterns that have been long held in your nervous system, whether they were from trauma, chronic stress, overwhelm, but really addressing them so that your system can work in a whole new way. So, what does this really mean? If you recognize yourself in even one of these signs, you don't have to wait until things get worse. Readiness isn't about having your life together. It's not about being in a perfect state. It's about being willing to let your body experience something new. Network spinal care isn't about fixing you. It's about guiding your nervous system back into balance so that you can thrive and live your best life. So, what happens next? Well, starting care is actually a very simple process. The first thing you want to do is schedule your consultation. The second thing is receive a gentle nervous system assessment. We're going to do some very non invasive testing that can help us analyze how your nervous system is patterned. We also then will go over that information with you so you have a deeper understanding of root causes, a more holistic picture of what's happening within your body, and also that you can work with one of our doctors to actually develop a plan for healing. And then the next thing is to begin care and begin care at your body's pace. Everyone's needs are a little bit different. And so we want to design something that's adequate, that's really perfect for you in terms of your healing process. Patients often will say that the hardest part was just starting. So many of our patients are referred by their friends or their family members. And sometimes the hardest step that they had to do through the whole thing was just picking up the phone and making a phone call or going to our website and scheduling online. We make it pretty easy, but sometimes taking that step is just the hardest part. So, tactical takeaways from today's episode. Readiness shows up as patterns, exhaustion, stress, disconnection, and a longing for deeper healing. You don't have to wait until symptoms get worse. One step now can begin real change and real healing. If this resonates, your body is already telling you you're ready. Thank you for joining me today on Healing Beyond the Symptoms. If one or more of these signs felt familiar, take it as an invitation. Your body is ready. You can book your first consultation at bodyandbalancechiropractic.com and follow me on Instagram for daily support at Body and Balance Wellness Center. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave us a review for our podcast. And until next time, breathe deep, listen in, and trust the signs that your body is giving you.
Thanks again for joining me today on Healing Beyond the Symptoms. If you've been curious about Network Spinal, or if you've tried everything else and still feel stuck, I want you to know this. Your body is not broken. It's patterned, and those patterns can change. If you're ready to experience how gentle care can lead to profound transformation, I'd love to invite you to book a wellness consultation at bodyandbalancechiropractic.com. Together, we'll look at what your body needs to finally release, reset, and thrive. Until next time, breathe deep, trust your body, and remember, gentle can be powerful.